Hey, what's up everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is, are Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant the most lethal mid-range shooters in the NBA today? So that's the topic I want to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also be on the lookout for our Dreamerspro Premium community, which is up, which is finished. We're just launching it tomorrow. People have been asking. It will be live tomorrow. Don't worry, we'll give you all the information for that, so don't worry about that. We got you covered. Anyway, let me get into the topic here because I got some pretty interesting topics I want to get into in today's video. So let's talk about it. So we all know that a lot has been made about analytics and the three-point shot in today's NBA. I think ever since Adam Silver, the current commissioner of the NBA, came in, I think he wanted to change the way the game was played, right? I think every new commissioner wants to sort of have their own regime and their own policies and make the league their own. So when they leave, they can say so-and-so left this particular legacy. And I think Adam Silver's whole thing was he wanted to speed up the game. He wanted to make it more exciting because I think he felt when David Stern was the former commissioner of the NBA, I think a lot of people thought the games were too slow. I think they thought it was dominated too much by defense. You saw a lot of low scoring games, and I think that they thought that maybe this is not something that was pleasing for fans to see. However, the NBA had the best ratings it ever had back then when there were really low scoring games. Now, at a certain point, earlier, before the Michael Jordan Detroit Pistons era, there were actually very high scoring games. But when Jordan and them were playing, there were some low scoring games. I went and watched a little bit of the Last Dance docuseries, and I saw some games that they were winning in the playoffs, low scoring games like 79, 83, something like that. So it wasn't like I said people weren't tuning in. I think people wanted to see entertaining basketball, and they didn't want to see a chuckathon. To me, I think that's what the NBA has become today. I think the three-point shot has become a crux. Like, I think too many guys are using it. And yes, people say, yes, you have to be skilled to make the shot. Yes, it is a difficult shot because you're shooting further away from the basket. So the further you are, the less efficient that shot is. Now, some people make the argument, well, it's more of an efficient shot than twos because although there's a probability that you're going to make a decent amount of them, I'm sure the league has a league average of how many threes are actually made, which I don't know. And some people say, well, listen, you're trading 2 for 3s, so you're going to score more points by shooting more threes. I understand that, but at the same time, I think when you have everyone running to the three-point line, I think it makes the game kind of bland and predictable. Y'all saw that mental blunder that the Denver Nuggets made when they had it was a 2-point game. They had the outlet pass with 6 points left to go in the game. With 6 seconds left to go in the game. They were running down the court. It was a 4-on-1 fast break, and the guy stupidly ran to the corners instead of what's this guy's name, Jamal Murray, attacking the defender and then drawing him to get the guy open layup. The guys ran to the 3-point line, and it wasn't just that. It wasn't just two. It was like all 3 of them. 3 guys went to the 3-point line. Meanwhile, you're down 2 points, and I don't know what they were thinking. And Jamal Murray himself stopped at the 3-point line, and some people were like, "Wait a minute, this might have been the stupidest basketball play we've probably seen over the last 10 years," and it was right up there, because in that scenario, some people are talking about the analytics, but it shouldn't be the analytics. The analytics should be used, but analytics has its place. But when the situation dictates, you have to take the best shot or you have to take the highest percentage shot given the context of that moment, right? You have to understand it's a 2-point game. It's easier to score a layup than it is to hit a 3. And we're not playing, and the philosophy doesn't match up when you're like, well, we're trading 2 for 3s. Bro, you're down by 2 points. You need a layup to tie the game. No reason to take a 3-point shot. It's a lower percentage shot. Just drive to the basket and hit a layup. Worst case scenario, they foul you. You go to the line and you hit free throws where you have an even higher percentage, especially if you're shooting above 85. So I don't think there's anyone shooting 85 or 90% from the 3-point line ever. So the 3-point, there's been kind of that. And now, and I'm not really sure how I feel about analytics to a certain extent. I think it has its place, but some people try to make it the end all be all. However, this brings me to these 2 guys that I'm going to be focusing on in Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant, because there's some guys, a select few, that are still opting to take the 2-point shot as the mid-range, right? There's still a few guys in the NBA that have that shot as a major part of their offensive attack, right? Few guys are still taking that 2-point shot, and it's becoming a lost art, to be quite honest with you, as I said, because of the advent of the 3-point shot. But listen, I don't think there are any two guys in the NBA that are better at making the mid-range shot consistently than Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant. Now, some people may say, but what about Kyrie Irving? Listen, Kyrie Irving is a magician with the basketball, and he has pretty much every shot I've ever seen any basketball player make, right? The person to have to go back and think who had more shots or just as many shots as Kyrie Irving in his bag, and the next person I'll think of was Kobe. And Kobe had more shots than Kyrie, right? Kobe could do more things than Kyrie Irving. Why? Because he's a bigger guy, so his size allowed him to take tougher shots and shoot over taller defenders, right? And that's the reason why I'm kind of leaving Kyrie out, because Kyrie he's very skilled, but if you take into consideration the size of Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard, I give the edge to these two guys. KD is about 6'10", Kawhi Leonard is 6'7", Kyrie Irving is 6'3". So to me, I think the nod goes to these two guys. I think these two guys are the best at making the shot, given all the factors that I just considered. So let's talk about Kawhi Leonard. We're going to talk about his we're going to talk about his overall stats, and then we're going to get into his mid-range stats. So Kawhi Leonard for this season is scoring 27 points per game. He's shooting 51% from the field, 39% from the three, and 88% from the free throw line, right? Getting you 6.2 rebounds, 5 assists, and 1.5 steals. So those are his overall statistics. Now, let's go into his advanced stats for his mid-range, because that's really the shot that we're focusing on here, and it's going to surprise you guys. So let's get into it. This season, from 0 to 3 feet, right? From 0, meaning the basket, so 0 to 3 feet, Kawhi Leonard is making 75.8, so let's say 76% of his shots between 0 to 3 feet. From 3 to 10 feet, he's making 54.5, so let's say 55% of his shots between 3 to 10 feet. From 10 to 16, he's making 45.8. So he's shooting again 46% from the 10 to 16 foot range on the basketball court. That's what he's shooting. And he's shooting from 16 feet to the 3-point line, he's shooting 50%. And from the 3-point line, he's shooting 39.2. So as you can see, Kawhi Leonard is a consistent 40 to 50% shooter from the mid-range. Because to me, I'm counting out, some people are going to take into account the paint, which is the 0 to 3. That's the paint, right? But anything from the 3 feet and out, that you're talking about the elbows and anywhere in that, and anywhere between there and the 3-point line, the guy is shooting close to 46, 47%. That's astonishing. Remember, he's shooting from the 16 foot to the 3-point line. He's shooting 50% from the field. That's astonishing efficiency. So it means that shot, he can make it at a consistent, at a very efficient, and at a high level. He can do it over and over and over again. This is with a 28-game sample. Last season, the numbers aren't too different as well, but I'm just going to focus on this season. Now, if we look at Kevin Durant's overall production this season, scoring 29 points per game, he's shooting 52% from the field, 43% from the three, 87% from the free throw line, getting you 7.3 rebounds, 5.3 assists, and 1.4 blocks. Now, if we look at KD's advanced stats and we go back to just look at the same numbers, he's shooting 78% from 0 to 3 feet. He's shooting 42% from 3 to 10 feet. So Kawhi actually shoots a higher percentage than KD from 3 to 10 feet. He's shooting 54% from 10 to 16 feet, which is higher than Kawhi, because I think Kawhi is shooting something like 46%. And he's shooting 49% from the 16 to 30 to the 16 foot to the 3-point line. And then of course 43% from the three. This right here shows you that KD and Kawhi are very, very lethal at making this shot consistently. It's the reason why you see them keep taking the shot over and over and over again. And it's what makes them very hard to guard, right? If you have guys that their main shot is either driving to the basket or hitting threes, you can game plan for that very easy, and you can skew your defense toward that, because usually that's the type of offense you're going to be going against in the NBA anyway, because the NBA teams are pretty much running the same type of offensive sets. That's what's allowing them to score so many points. You know they're going to be running different offensive sets to get them running a lot of action to get them a lot of things going to the basket, a lot of dribble, kick, and drive, and then of course trying to get open three-pointers. So you kind of train your defensive players to be able to play against those type of offenses. But then when you have these unique guys that come around and they can beat you from anywhere in the floor, then it puts your defense in jeopardy, especially on the weak side. When you swing the ball to them, man, it causes all kind of havoc. And you see a lot of times, if you watch games with Kawhi or Kevin Durant, the minute you hit them in the post, a double team is coming. And the minute that happens, it opens up the weak side. If they can play out of the double team quickly and they can process who's the open man very quickly, they're going to put defenses in jeopardy. But if they weren't a threat from the mid-range, then that doesn't become an option for their offenses. Now, with the Brooklyn Nets, you can do the same thing with Kyrie and KD, but KD is the best option for that because of his height, and he's virtually unguardable. And Kawhi Leonard, if they show you their numbers, it shows you that these guys are shooting at an elite level. If you took a comparison of these guys' individual numbers from the mid-range, and I think you spread it out across the league, or you did a comparison, I'm pretty sure they're shooting way above the league average if you look at other players around the NBA, because they're just so efficient at that shot. And to me, I think this is what makes these two guys the most lethal mid-range shooters in the NBA, and I don't even think it's close. To be quite honest, you'd be hard-pressed to find somebody else that you're going to put in their level. If you look at the top 3 players in the NBA, in my opinion, you have LeBron, Kawhi, KD, in no particular order. These two guys are the best at doing that. Like LeBron that's not his skill. LeBron's skill, I think his #1 shot, and I think his most lethal shot, is when he's going downhill. And I haven't seen anybody attack the basket better than him. Making free throws, making layups with contact. Very difficult, especially with a lot of speed and a lot of force. No one did that better. I've never seen a basketball player do that better than LeBron. But when it comes to the mid-range, LeBron doesn't do that. Then you have to look at the other top NBA players in the world, and who else can make those shots if we're looking at the top 5, top 10 NBA players in the world. So for me, I think these guys are the 2 most lethal mid-range shooters in the NBA. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant are the most lethal mid-range shooters in the NBA, given the evidence I just gave you, or do you think it's somebody else? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoy the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Again, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the next video that we have coming up, and also the Dreamerspro Premium Community, Dreamerspro Max, will be live tomorrow. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.